Howdy, peeps. Today we're going to discuss the least chosen option LDS singles select when deciding how to improve their dating prospects and why this least selected option should be the first they choose. Join the Journey Radio starts right now.
Maverick to range control. Entering Point Alpha. Confirm green range.
Maverick, range control. Green range is confirmed. I don't see an event scheduled for you, sir.
Well, I'm going anyway.
Nice.
I get all excited. I'm like JoJo, the idiot circus boy with a pretty new pet.
Excellent!
No different. Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
Are you mocking me?
We don't want you to get ruffled. Let's just say I was agreeing with you in a totally unusual way.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
Now, do you need me to elaborate? Or can we just crack on?
And here we go.
Hit it!
Welcome to the infusion of positive energy into the lives of single Latter-day Saints everywhere. This is Joy in the Journey Radio.
And welcome back, peeps, to another wonderful, splendiferous, joyous episode of Joy in the Journey Radio. I am Lance, your host for Joy in the Journey Radio, and this is episode number 419. Work on you. That's right. Longtime listeners know what's coming. Work on you, baby. If you're viewing the program live today, please join the chat. Join the chat. Light up the chat. Tell us where you're watching the program from. That'll help us to get a little understanding of where our audience is located. And if you're viewing the program at a later date, go ahead and leave a comment down below the video. Let us know where you're watching the program from. That will help us understand our audience, but it will also help with the algorithms to push our content that we hope is helpful for Latter-day Saints singles everywhere out so that more people can be helped. Well, peeps, it's a brand new year. As you can see, I got a brand new microphone. I was not intending to buy this, right? I mean, we kissed 2025 goodbye, or in some cases, we simply let it slip into the dustbin of history. But now, 2026 lies before us, okay? And I have a new microphone for the new year. And again, I did not want to purchase this. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And the old microphone that I had was working just fine until it wasn't. I mean, one day it just decided not to work. And I was editing the program, and I just saw, wait, what? How come there's no sound? I get all this video, but there's no sound. And then I go to troubleshoot the issue and find out my microphone doesn't work anymore. So I was kind of forced into this. I thought, well, it's kind of convenient that it happened at the turn of the year, just from a programming standpoint. Because, it's like 2026, new year, new microphone here in the JJ Thrive Zone. And so, yeah, we're feeling good about that. We're not feeling good about the fact we had to pay more money for it. Money that I was just like, I don't really have this to spend, but I'm going to have to cut back at something else to make up for it, because the show must go on. And that's where we're at here with Join the Journey Radio. The show has to go on. Now, last week, we talked about how to set our goals so that the new year unfolds much better than the old. You want this year to be different than last year? Well, go watch last week's program if you haven't, because there we talk about how LDS singles can make sure 2026 doesn't look anything like 2025. It looks much, much better, okay? And that was last week. This week, we're going to talk about one specific goal that many LDS singles commonly make with the new year. And that goal is this. They tell themselves that, okay, new year, new me, this year will be the one This year will be the one that I find that special someone so I can escape being single and embrace a new chapter in life. Not all LDS singles make such a goal at the start of a new year, of course. I mean, some do refrain on the basis that goals which require another person to decide a certain outcome are, in actuality, poor goals. The logic here is that more effective goals focus on what one can control, and one does not control how others will use their agency. I'm not going to dispute that logic. I'm actually partial to it myself. What I will do is talk about what these LDS singles typically do next. Instead of making a goal to have someone else decide in their favor, they look for a new way in which that result could still be achieved while focusing on what lies within their power. Now, according to the fundamental principles of the dating journey, these singles really have two options. And the option most of them don't choose should really be the one that they do choose. What am I talking about? Well, we've talked before here on Join the Journey Radio about the fundamentals of the dating journey, the basic principles that convey an understanding of how to make progress in the dating journey. If you're a longtime audience member, you know what I'm talking about. For the benefit of those audience members who are new, I will explain. It's really quite simple. The dating journey is a series of stages, and each stage has an agreement associated with it. In order to advance to any stage, you must have the agreement connected with that stage. Each stage has its own different agreement. And in order to advance to any one stage, you must have the agreement connected with that stage. If you do not have the agreement, you do not, indeed cannot, advance to that stage. Now, how do you secure the agreement you need? Well, how do you secure any agreement? It's by being agreeable enough with someone who's crossed your path. But in order for you to have an agreement, both you and the other party must accept the agreement. You don't have an agreement if only one person says yes and the other person says no. Both people have to say yes. And when it comes to the dating journey, you're either agreeable enough or you're not. There's no in between. You either make the cut or you don't. Now, in some cases, it might be, well, I don't know if you make the cut, but I'm willing to give you a try to find out, right? And what that's really saying is you are good. You may be good enough for this stage of the dating journey. That doesn't say anything about a future stage of the dating journey, right? Again, each stage has its own agreement. And in order to progress to any stage, all you need is to have an agreement. But it's also not only the only thing you need, it's the only thing that you can have to progress to the stage. In other words, nothing else matters, right? Nothing else that you may have or don't have doesn't play into it. Only one thing plays into it, the agreement. Do you have the agreement? Yes, you advance to that stage. You don't have the agreement, you're not at that stage, period. Now, two people each making a choice that could go one of two ways means four possible outcomes, right? Outcome number one, both you and the other person find each other to be agreeable enough. In this case, you each advance to that stage of the dating journey. Outcome number two, you aren't agreeable enough to the other person, but the other person is agreeable enough to you. In this case, you need to change you enough to become agreeable enough to the other person. Otherwise, you don't have an agreement, and therefore, neither one of you progress to that stage in your dating journey. Outcome number three, you are agreeable enough to the other person, but the other person isn't agreeable enough to you. In this case, the person needs to change enough to become agreeable enough to you. Otherwise, you don't have an agreement, and therefore neither one of you progress to that stage in your dating journey. Outcome number four, neither you nor the other person find each other to be agreeable enough. In this case, neither one of you advanced to that stage of the dating journey. Moreover, you are both very much okay about that. Okay, let's first evaluate the low-hanging fruit here. Obviously, outcome number four merits no serious consideration. Neither party has any interest, so they both move on. Likewise, we need not dwell upon outcome number one. It's obviously the outcome we all want, the one we are searching for. Both parties have interest, so they move on with that. Outcomes number 2 and 3, however, demand more attention. They each happen, but in my experience, their frequency of occurrence reflects your gender. And by gender, I mean biological sex. Men seem to encounter outcome number 2 more frequently than outcome number 3. In essence, it's common for men to be attracted to women who are not attracted to them. And women seem to encounter outcome number 3 more than outcome number 2, i.e., it's common for women to wonder why the men they wish would ask them out don't. Now, keep in mind that this is just a generalized observation. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule, but either way, there's not much to be done if the change requires the agency of someone other than you. You can change yourself, you can change your environment, and that's it. These two levers are all you got. They match the two essential elements to having that special someone in your life. You both need to be agreeable enough to each other, and you both need to cross paths with each other. Two parties might be of such a quality that each would find the other agreeable enough. But that won't do either of them any good if they don't know the other exists. They have to cross paths, or there's no progress in the dating journey. Likewise, you can cross paths with as many other people as you like, but if none of them find you agreeable enough, there's no progress in the dating journey. So you can change yourself and you can change your environment. That's it. These are the two options I referenced earlier. One option is to change yourself so that you become more agreeable to the potential candidates already in your environment. The other option is to find ways to cross paths with new people in the hopes that one of them that you find agreeable will also find you agreeable enough. Change yourself or change your environment. Guess which one most LDS singles choose? If you said their environment, then you're right. When faced with the choice of changing themselves or their environment, most LDS singles will choose to change their environment because it is the path of least resistance. And as we will discuss here today, it is also the path of least return on investment. If we would just make the other choice, we'd be much better off. The problem is that changing you involves work. And by work, I mean real hard work. It is so much easier to believe that you are already good enough, that you don't need to change, that you should celebrate your uniqueness, that there is nothing wrong with you, that there is something wrong with the other person if you need to change to please them. And that is the deception that ensnares many LDS singles. Yes, I did call these ideas deceptive, and I did it because, like most lies that succeed in fooling people, they are not completely false. There is some truth to these ideas. In fact, most of these ideas are mostly true. You are good enough in the sense that God made you to be what you need to be for your journey here in mortality. And He gave you what you need to complete that journey successfully. In addition, your particular combination of gifts and talents and dispositions and perspectives are what give you uniqueness. There is no one else in all of history, no one now living, nor anyone who will yet live, who possesses your unique combination of characteristics that make you you. Indeed, that uniqueness is worthy of celebration. And no, you don't want to go through your entire life seeking to please everyone around you. That makes you dependent upon others for a sense of self-esteem, which isn't the best of mental health states. But notice the key details omitted in each of these ideas when applied to the dating journey. Just because you are good enough in one arena does not make you good enough in all. You may be good enough to shine shoes, but that doesn't make you a successful stock trader. You might be great with math, but not so great with fixing a leaky faucet. So while you are good enough for your mortal journey, you may need to level up for your dating journey. Your uniqueness is worthy of celebration, but uniqueness doesn't necessarily translate to progress in the dating journey. Progress in the dating journey comes from one thing and one thing only, and that is securing the agreement you need at each stage of the journey. Period. That's it, nothing else. No agreement means no progress. Your uniqueness might play into whether or not someone else finds you agreeable enough, but at the end of the day, it's securing the necessary agreement and nothing else that moves you along in your dating journey. Accordingly, just because you make changes in you so that you can become more agreeable enough does not mean you depend on the approval of others for your self worth, although it might. Right? There is a big difference between making a change to please someone else and making a change to please yourself. And almost invariably, those who make needed changes to please themselves are the ones who will more likely find, will be the ones that others. Okay, back up. Those who make changes to please themselves are almost invariably those who make changes. Okay, I get my mind right here. Back up. I'm having a brain fart. Okay. Almost invariably, those who make needed changes to please themselves are the ones others will more likely find agreeable enough. Boom! There we go, baby. Got it out. Those who are looking for validation, right? They're looking to please others. They broadcast a very different energy signature that is often more repulsive than attractive. And the result? No agreement. No agreement means no progress in the dating journey. Now, there's a lot more that we could go into here, but I hope that you can see the difference between the truth and the myths that many LDS singles believe and are using to make less effective choices when it comes to dating. When you ground yourself in the fundamental principles of what you are doing, you find it a lot easier to make the progress you want and to get the results that you want. And those fundamentals lead to one inevitable conclusion. When you work more on changing you than you do on your environment, the universe tends to bend itself more towards bringing you the results you want. By the way, that axiom is true not just in your dating journey, but in every other area of life. Most LDS singles will shy away from changing themselves. I mean, they want to have a better life without becoming a better person. That's not the way the universe works. I know it can be hard to accept this conclusion, but you need to do the work. You need to work on you. Paying the price you need to pay in full and in advance is the only way to get a ticket to the show. And yes, you can keep looking to cross paths with more and more people in the hopes that one of them will find you agreeable enough without you having to make any changes at all in you. But the probability of achieving success with that approach is so much lower than the probability of success when you work on you and simply become more agreeable enough. Now, admittedly, the whole concept of being agreeable enough is very subjective. What one person might find agreeable enough might be completely disagreeable to another person. So, part of the difficulty in embracing this truth about doing the work on you is its nebulous nature. I mean, any one change you could make might move the needle for some people, but might not move the needle for others. And for still others, might indeed move the needle in the wrong direction. Not knowing what one specific action to take that will work for everyone, I mean, it just lets our brain step in and say, see, there's no point to changing you. Just stay here in the status quo where it is safe. Those who listen to that siren call, and far too many LDS singles do, find themselves living the same life year after year, making no substantial progress in their dating journey. Yes, there is some subjectivity to what others will find agreeable enough, but here is the dirty little secret about LDS dating. Most LDS singles allow the natural man or the natural woman to drive their dating decisions. Now, I hate saying that because it sounds bad. I mean, after all, Mosiah 3:19 is one of those scripture mastery verses from seminary, and it has been for generations. It's also prominent among the scriptures that appear in lesson manuals or are quoted by general authorities in general conference. So there is a very real notion in the culture that the natural man is bad and not something you want to be. The natural woman, though not specifically called out by name in the scriptures, still has that name natural label that the natural man has. So she can't be any better. So, I hate saying that most LDS singles allow the natural man or the natural woman to drive their dating decisions. Nevertheless, it's still true. I mean, it doesn't negate the fact that it's true. We've talked more extensively about this concept here on Join the Journey Radio, and we surely will again and again. But as the time available for the program today is fast diminishing, let me share with you the silver lining behind this cloud. Yes, I can feel incredibly disingenuous. I often have. Trying to apply this principle to my own dating journey, I I can tell you from personal experience, it can feel incredibly disingenuous and downright wrong to be chasing after apparently worldly values, because that's what the natural man and the natural woman value. They value things of the world. And so chasing after these apparently worldly values in order to secure an eternal covenant, there's like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a huge amount of dissonance with that. That creates a reality with its own brand of frustration. And yes, many of those values focus on the outward trappings of success that don't make a substantial difference in eternity. But if the natural mindset drives most LDS dating decisions, and I affirm that it does, then that does remove much of the subjectivity out of what was otherwise a very nebulous area. Think about it. I mean, the natural mindset most values a small set of qualities. So putting your effort into working on you there means increasing your probability of success substantially, perhaps even exponentially. And we'll talk about these ideas in more detail in a future episode of Join the Journey Radio. Right now, let's recap the main ideas we've discussed today. When faced with the choice of making changes in themselves or finding new people to cross paths with, most LDS singles reject the former in favor of the latter. I mean, working on you is hard work when compared with simply finding new people, right? But your ROI is much higher when you work on you to adopt a small set of qualities that are attractive to the vast majority of people than it is going anywhere to find new people to cross paths with in the hope that someone will find you good to be agreeable enough as you already are. As a general rule, you'll find essentially the same distribution of people anywhere you go. So if you aren't agreeable enough in your immediate area, you aren't that likely to be agreeable enough anywhere else. Do the work. Work on you. Yes, it's harder. You have to ignore that voice in your head, the result of evolutionary biology, the essence of the natural mindset, telling you to stay safe in the status quo and to steer away from making any changes in your life. But the reward at the end of the day, when you go down this road of changing you, is so much better than the alternative. You'll increase your probability of success substantially. And even if you don't get the agreement you need to progress in your dating journey on your timetable, I mean, LDS singles life is always better when you are a better you. So do the work. Work on you. That will bring you more joy in your journey. Well, peeps, that's all for this episode of Join the Journey Radio. Thanks to everyone for joining in today. This is a little bit of a little bit on a time crunch this week. Hopefully, we'll get. I'm working on getting some guests to come into the program so we can have more discussion format. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at for today. Let's check out the chat. See when people, you gotta light up the chat. There's no one in the chat. Got to work on that one too in 2026. Okay, well, if you're watching this at a later date, again, thank you for watching. And if there's something you'd like to say about what we've discussed today, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have a topic or question you'd like to see addressed on a future episode of Join the Journey Radio, we're happy to help as we can. Please leave a comment down below. If there's something we can do to help you overcome the challenges of LDS singles life, then yep, you got it. Leave a comment down below. And, one of those exceedingly shy people, right? Shy people. And you want to make a comment, but you don't want the whole world to read it. Well, there's a simple solution for you. Just go to our website at jointhejourneyradio.com, and this is where you go to watch the live stream. But there's another page on called Contact, and there on the Contact page, there's a form you can fill out, send us a message, so you can make a comment, and the whole world will be reading it. So yes, even if you're exceedingly shy, we love you. We want you to be a part of what we got going on here. So again, that's all we got for Join the Journey Radio today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our content that you find helpful so the algorithms can get our content and push it out to more LDS singles so we can help more and more people. And until next time, this is your host reminding you there is joy to be had all along our journey. So take that joy, journey on.
You and I have witnessed many things, but nothing as bodacious as what just happened.
Check it out. Look at I'm in really bad shape. Come on, please, please.
Bob.
Give me. I need.
My God, pull yourself together!
I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Wait till I get going.
Where was I?
Suck it!
Run away!
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. Come on. Give me some. Give me some. Give me some. Give me some of that. Yeah. Woohoo! I will see you cats on the flip-flop later.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.